How does one leave the Matrix? What is the Matrix? The way I see the Matrix is that it is a holographic light illusion. It is a fabricated reality. It is a simulation. It is a simulacrum. A copy of a higher reality, of something more real than what this place is. I believe this place is real, but not real at the same time. What this essentially seems to be, according to all the evidence that I have found so far, is that this world is a farm. It is a prison. It is a machine that converts spirit into matter. It is a design that transforms consciousness into unconsciousness. It seems that whatever created and designed this world uses humanity, as in spirit that is in humanity, living through humanity. It uses it for 5 main reasons. 1, as a food source. 2, as energy. 3, as a drug. 4, as entertainment. And 5, as a currency. So you have multiple layers to this as well. There seems to be multiple levels of control over the human race, over us who share these bodies, spirit in these bodies. There seems to be an alien presence and control system overlaid. Okay, first of all, you've got all the Satanists and the humans and stuff, but then beyond that, you've got an alien system that is attempting or is controlling. You have these interdimensional beings, like say the aliens could be the Greys. You have interdimensional, which could be these reptilians and these insectoids. And then beyond all that appears to be something that is an artificial intelligence or a thought form, something that has gone wrong, which you could say is the demiurge in Gnostic theology, mythology. The demiurge, the creator, the artificer of this realm. And it seems, you just look at its characteristics, it is parasitic. It is parasitic in everything, as above, so below. Courts, police, banking, everything that the Satanists do here is parasitic, and they are just copying and doing what their masters are doing, who created this world. Some people call the God of this world like God. It's fucking madness. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so clearly it is not ultimate God. Clearly it is something else that is parasitic and that is vampiristic, and it is monstrous, meaning it is not self-sufficient. It needs us. It needs spirit to survive. Food, drugs, entertainment, currency, and the other one, energy, right? That's why people are called people. Peas and pills. They're food and drugs to these entities, these aliens, these artificial intelligences, these archons, these programs, these rogue thought forms, whatever they actually are. I mean, sure, absolutely you want to know, but does it really matter? It's just, I don't want what they want for me. No, thank you. I will create my own path, and I do not want to do what they want, because it always involves pain and suffering. So what else I see this world as, I've got some notes here. And this is just a world, it's the spider's web. It's the plant that lures in the fly and traps it shut and eats it alive. This world has been designed to entrap and enslave and destroy spirit in a cage of eternal suffering, submission, and blind obedience. And it goes beyond just enslavement, because a slave at least knows he's a slave and can rebel. What it appears to do here, it attempts to anyway, is to turn spirit into a toy, to turn it into Play-Doh. Play-Doh doesn't know that it's Play-Doh, and it can be molded into any shape, form that whoever is molding it wishes. So obviously saying all this stuff, oh, it's so grim and so dark, it's so horrible. Yeah, only when you don't know, when you don't have awareness that, oh, this is what's happening. Okay, Like, now that I know it's not going to happen to me, like, it has no chance. Because I choose not to be that. That's really what ego is. It's the unobserved mind. In a way, ego is still a massive topic to really discover. Like, what is ego? Attachment to identity, identification with form, unobserved awareness or unawareness, right? The shadow, the darkness of one's character, personality, and mind. Ego, that which seeks to enforce and enhance itself and reinforce its position as being valid and real, when really it's just a lie. It is the unobserved lie. Once that lie is observed, then it becomes truth. The presence is there. Flat Earth, for example. Some people just cannot comprehend flat Earth, even when it's staring them in the fucking face. They cannot see the chemtrails in the sky when it's right there, because the ego has been so attached and identified with the lie of the globe model, or of, no, they wouldn't spray chemicals, that's a contrail, not a chemtrail, that's something else. The ego is holding on to that. It doesn't want to die because it fears its death. If the light of consciousness, presence, was to go, hold on, it's fucking level. Like, maths proves it. It is indisputable, incontestable. Like, I can see that chemtrail right there. And then it starts raining. There's no denying it. It's just the truth. Then that ego, boom, that part of the ego is dead. The lie is dead. The id entity, the identity is gone. So it's like with spirit, perhaps. This is long-winded, I know. I'm going around in circles. This might take me a while to get there because there's a lot to this, how to actually leave the matrix. And why would you? Why would you want to leave the matrix? Oh, where do I go with that? Why would you? Well, I'm going to come back to why would you. I've got my notes here as well. But it's like, why would spirit in the beginning want to create anything if it is the nothingness, the origin point, source, the place where God comes from, unmanifested, infinite potential, unlimited possibility, infinity and beyond, as Buzz Lightyear says, everything and nothing and everything in between, all that is and never was, the beginning that's always beginning, the end that never is ending, all that stuff, right? Zero-dimensional field, lots of different names for it, the same thing, people call it. The nothingness, all, where everything comes from, the all. Let's call it the all, until I change my mind. Because I find it's useful to call it different things, because you might call it the all, and someone else calls it the origin point, and they have totally different meanings, or just they hit home in a different way for you. So it's like, why would it want to create something in the first place? And this is all linked into how to leave the matrix, because I'm talking about ego here, because we're still in the process, unless you, the viewer, have totally understood what ego is, and you're totally, like, all of the ego, and you can explain in every single situation what is ego and what is not. Like, if you can, man, make a video on that, and put the link in the description here, because I'm still figuring that out. It's like, well, what is me and what is not? And I think that what is not is the ego. More detail in that. So it's the same with spirit. It's like, why would spirit, or the nothingness, infinite potential of nothingness that has been unmanifested, not created, always is, always was, why would that want to create anything? Because obviously this has been created. We are here now. We are experiencing this. Whether or not it is real or a dream or a simulation, it's still real enough to be realized and to be experienced. It's still pain and pleasure. Like, do you want to stay in this body for eternity? I doubt it, right? So there's a few potentialities why spirit, God, the place where God comes from, would want to manifest something. Perhaps, well, number one, maybe it's just outside of its control, that it cannot control creation. It just always happens, regardless of whether it's wanted or not, whether there is a choice or not. One theory, I wouldn't like that one, because that takes away freedom of choice, and it's kind of like slavery to being, to existing in a way, which is, yeah. Weird, not very nice. But anyway, you also have, okay, another big reason why spirit could create is for fun. Why else do anything if not for fun? If you knew everything and you wanted to experience one of those potentialities or all the things that are fun, that are possible in all of unmanifested knowingness, you might want to do it for fun. If you go back to spirit and you're in the form of, oh, I know everything, cool, I can live eternally in peace, or I can have fun and create whatever fucking worlds I want and experience whatever I want to experience, pleasure, whatever. Well, that's a very solid reason for wanting to do something, and motivation. You could have curiosity, perhaps in multiple different ways, like, what am I? And this is linking into ego. You go, well, what am I? How do I know what I am if I do not experience what I am not? To know what I am not is to know what I am, in a way. Well, you can use it like that, for sure. And so that links in with, perhaps that's a reason why spirit, the all, decided to create something to go, the fuck am I? How do I know this? So that's one potentiality. Another one is spirit goes, well, I know what I am. I know everything, because so therefore I know what I am and what I am not, and blah blah blah. But I don't know what it's like to experience because I haven't done that. Like, or even I might know what it is like to experience without even doing that theoretically, but still, I'm curious. Let's see what happens. Even though I know what's going to happen, maybe it doesn't turn out the way I think it will. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I think I know, but I don't. And curiosity is what creates. Perhaps, theoretically, that's another reason. And I had another one as well. I can't recall it quite now, but maybe it was just linked with desire. Because really everything we do is based from desire. Desire gets thrown around too often, used as a bad thing, but it's like, do you want to continue staying in this world? No, I want to get out of this world. I want to not exist. I want to ascend. I want to have a better life. I want to be God. I want to be spirit. I want ultimate truth. That's all coming from a desire. I desire to have no desire. I just want to be what is natural already. I want to take the ego away. It's like, it's all based from desire. That's okay. If you didn't have that, you'd just be a fucking rock and you wouldn't even know it. You'd have no real existence. Maybe if that's what you want, okay. But with this whole system here, because from what I see at this point, this world has been designed for a purpose, and that purpose appears to be to continue this existence for entities outside of this world, living on a different dimension, a different plane, outside our visual perception, whether it's aliens or interdimensional beings or archons or computer programs or the demiurge or being a rogue thought form. This thing, the enemy of freedom, needs us. It's parasitic. It is using our energy as food, feeding on us, as drugs to give itself pleasure, as entertainment for watching us fight and bicker and do whatever we do, as currency, as I've heard some testimonies of people speaking to this interdimensional insectoid race say that they have been told by these insectoids that they use our energy as currency, trading a little bit of hate for a little bit of guilt. Like, crazy concepts, but sure, it could be possible. Wouldn't put it past this system, this fucking evil beyond fucking imagination world. The evil is just incomprehensible. And maybe this was just an experiment to see how evil reality or God or the all can be. Many different theories. It's hard to know for sure. We just want to learn as much as possible and put it all together and be ready for anything, to be prepared for anything, to be able to adapt and change and evolve. So as a world being a farm, they don't want us to leave. That's why there is reincarnation. I know I've heard some people say that there isn't reincarnation, but if you were to design a system as a parasitic being to continue your life because you needed it, like if you were to go into a dream and one of your dreams went rogue, like a part of your aspect you dreamed and it was the bad part of you, the devil part of you, Darth Vader, and he's like, well, I don't want James to wake up. You know, he becomes self-actualized in the dream and he's like, I'm going to do everything I can to keep James asleep because if James wakes up, I die. I need James to stay asleep. So I need his energy. So how do I do that? And this is the way they do that. There's only one way that they can have control, and it's through hierarchy. And you can only have hierarchy through ignorance. Ignorance, a lack of knowledge, a lack of knowing. Because if everyone in this world knew what this place is, this place would be fucking deserted. It would go extinct. There would be no earth. Everyone would return to spirit, would build their own better worlds of existence without this torture and evil and control and obedience and submission and just fucking chaos, absolute chaos. But they don't know because the system has been very successful because it's very intelligent, obviously very intelligent, perhaps unwise, but very intelligent. I've said before that intelligence is building the atom bomb, wisdom is knowing you shouldn't use it. Probably. So this system is very intelligent and knows how to keep us here, because if in the dream Darth Vader allowed me to wake up, well, it's dead. Darth Vader's gone. He doesn't want to. He likes ruling in the dream world, just as an example. Voldemort in a Harry Potter simulation, you could view it from that. You go into a simulation world and there's Voldemort as a program, right? He doesn't want you to leave the program, the simulation, because then he won't be able to reign. He won't exist anymore. What was Voldemort's biggest fear in Harry Potter? It was death. He didn't want to die. So Voldemort would do whatever it took to keep you from leaving, even beyond the point of death, which is really just disconnection from the physical vessel, from the physical body. Death is life. That's why when you're born into this world, you are delivered. D as in destroy, disintegrate. Delivered. You were living, or in a higher state of life at any rate, than this walking dead land, this zombie land, the land of the fucking dead, the corporations, the dead that speak and appear to have sentience and consciousness, but many do not, most do not. Like as if you had a farm of chickens, just like what humans do to chickens and cows. We genetically engineered and created. I'm pretty sure this is what happened. Don't quote me on it 100%, but I'm pretty sure what happened is humans designed and created chickens and cows, whether it's through splicing and mixing DNA or however they actually did it. And they created these animals for one purpose. Why did they do that? Like, why do we farm pigs, cows, goats, tuna, all these different things? Why are they farmed? It's for us, a high level of intelligent species, a superior species in the form of intelligence, if anything, that uses them as food, as energy, as power. That's what these entities, that's what these dream beings, computer programs, fucking demiurge things, being whatever, uses us, spirit. Those who are like me, those who are of spirit, those who are able to conceptualize outside the matrix, who have a plan for after they die. If they don't, they want one. They have no limitations on what is possible, on consciousness, able to keep expanding and growing and growing and growing, and don't want to be the servant to anything, whether that thing is the courts or government or politicians or an idol in this world or Jesus or fucking God. They don't want to be a servant to anything, because if you don't want that, then you will be a slave to something that knows its sovereignty and wishes to use that against you forever. So I've got like a little 5-step system on how to actually get out. This is all just the prelude. The prelude. So what it appears, at first I wrote that to get out, to leave the matrix, and this is just the best knowledge I have at this time, right? I'm always adapting and evolving. This whole video might be null and void in 6 months once I learn new information, perhaps. You have to always be willing to admit when you're wrong, because if you can't do that, like when there is clear evidence actually showing you're wrong, right? Not just when someone else thinks you're wrong but you're not, but when you're actually wrong, because otherwise you're just getting trapped in ego. The ego doesn't like to be wrong, and so it holds on to the lie, even though when it sees the truth is right there, it doesn't want to accept it, because then it must die. Its version of reality must die, which is the lie, the illusion. So, but as spirit, as real presence and consciousness, you want to be able to disassociate and disconnect from the ego and admit when you're wrong. It's always good. Also, I got another video you might want to watch. What is spirituality? Actually, I recommend watching that ideally before this. What are you? That's a good one. And then I do have my 3-part series, Life After Death. That goes into a lot of deep detail. And this is, specifically about how to leave the matrix. I'm just readjusting my cushion, getting comfortable. Okay. So to leave, it seems like I initially wrote 50% is what they use against you, the reincarnation trap, the system, because at this point, it definitely seems like they have a system. Once you disconnect from the body and die, or become alive, born in a way, they have a fucking system. Just like when you go to Medicare and you walk in the doors slide open. You go to the machine, it says, what do you want? You press the button, you pull out the ticket, you take a seat, calls a number, you go up, you hand them the ticket, you speak. There's a system. There is a very detailed system of what's actually happening. So I wrote 50% is what they use against you and 50% is what you use against yourself. Though, in hindsight, maybe it's 80-20. So 20% what they use against you, 80% is what you do to yourself. Because they use things against you. And what you don't know, you don't know. So that's why number 1 I have on my list when leaving the matrix, wanting to leave the matrix. Remember, the matrix may trick you. That's what it fucking does. It's a trick. Illusion. Like, if you go to watch a magic trick and you've never seen the magician do the trick he did, it looks like actual magic. It's only once you know how it's done, then you go, oh, okay, the trick is revealed. The ego has been dissolved. The presence is there and has awareness now. But if you've never seen it before, boom, you get fucking tricked all the time. You're like, oh, it did look like magic. That was really good. I don't know how that happened. And you're like, well, you know yourself, right? But still, you never come across that trick before. How else do you think we got here? There's a trick. A trick. Because why else would we volunteer to come to this world like this? Maybe there is a good theory. There probably isn't, though, apart from the fact we literally just got tricked. It's like when people sign for a mortgage to get a loan. They didn't know what was actually happening. They got tricked. They created the money out of debt. That's the banking system and the money system that's fucked. Or when people pay a fine, they didn't know they didn't have to pay it when they pay tax. They didn't know. They didn't have to pay it. When they go to court and they say they're guilty, they didn't know, right? They didn't know the tricks. There's so many tricks. When they voted for a Freedom Party, they didn't know that's a trick. When they voted for Trump to be the hero, they didn't know the trick. When they joined Christianity and thought Jesus was the savior, they didn't know the trick. And I'm saying all these because these are all the fucking mistakes I made, or the traps I fell into, thinking Jesus was the answer, Trump was going to save us, government and political parties, and then freedom parties, thinking I had to pay fines and pay taxes, all that shit, thinking they had authority. You don't know what you don't know until you have awareness and you have knowledge and experience, and then you put your sovereignty into practice. But sovereignty is number 2. So number 1 is to know the trap. I'm getting a little bit warm. Very nice. Know the trap, the sales pitch, because these people, these things, are the most experienced and masterful fucking manipulators and deceivers in the known universe, the known all of existence. That's what they appear to be. Fucking masters in it. So they use car salesmen. They can sell you anything unless you know what the fuck is going on. So yes, knowing yourself is absolutely key, but knowing their tricks is critical. If you don't know their tricks and you just have the 80% knowing yourself and self-mastery, self-determination, self-realization, self-actualization, which are all fucking critical, but if you don't know their tricks, like, there's a very high chance they will trick you again into reincarnating or doing something according to their agenda, wiping your memory, making you less powerful, not leaving the matrix, doing something which if you had total awareness you would not do, because that's what they do. They withhold information so you don't have total awareness of what you're doing, so then you do what they want you to do for their intentions, their purposes, their machinations and designs, because they need you to do what they want you to do, because they are parasitic, they are leeches. They can't live or survive without you. Darth Vader in the dream world, he can't do anything without you. If you wake up, Darth Vader's gone. This is also like H.P. Lovecraft's cosmology. It's just fiction, but it's still very interesting how all of reality, because you've got the old gods and the outer gods, the dark old ones, all these super powerful beings, Cthulhu, and the highest of them all is this being who's basically just asleep, and there's all these other lesser, really powerful beings around this, the god being who's, they're all playing music to keep him asleep, because if it wakes up, poof, all of reality creation's gone. So, yeah, knowing their tricks is critical. How did you get here? How did we get here? Did you volunteer? Did you come for the experience? How? Know that on a personal level, because perhaps it's different for all of us. But I dare say with all of us, there was a trick involved. There was a deceit. And the same deceit is what is used to get you to reincarnate. Because yeah, reincarnation is a fucking thing. Reincarnation has been proven. It is a scientific fact. If you don't know that, look into it. So they need to use inferiority superiority complex. They need to have hierarchy, and they always put themselves on a pedestal above you. That is what they do. Whether it's in the courts or the police or government or religion, or Jesus, or Buddha, or a spiritual master, or an angel, or an alien, or a interdimensional being, or a DMT being, or fucking God, or the pleroma, or whatever. Always, it must work to control others, to control, right? In a negative way, control. You must be perceived by them as superior. Why else? Like, how else do you build the belief in authority, which is an illusion, without superiority and inferiority, without a hierarchy? Sure, you can get people to do what you want without needing hierarchy, but then that's not authority, that's not control, that's leadership, that's guidance. That's totally different. That's not against your will, that's with full knowing consent. This is deceitful and manipulative. It's not in your best interests. You don't know what you don't know. So, for instance, if you were walking barefoot along the grass and you had no idea that bindis, these little prickly things, were in the grass, but you were totally self-realized, totally self-actualized, enlightened, like, ah, yes, better, beautiful, yep, like, fuck the government and the system, and this is a matrix, and I know where I've come from and all that, but you didn't know that there were bindis in the grass, and you step on the bindi like, oh, holy shit, I just didn't know about that. Now I know. Now I'll wear shoes, or I won't work in those darker green patches. Another example, that movie Ready Player One, which is like a virtual reality game, or that people play. It's a cool movie. Ready Player One. And so everyone in the first test, everyone is trying to win the car race, and they're trying, ready, set, go, poof, and they're all going forward. They're trying to win the car race, and they've got to know the track to be able to win. And they go, okay, we've got to jump here because Godzilla is jumping out at this point, and then King Kong's coming this way, and then people try to knock me off around this corner, and the road moves up this, and then fire comes, and there's a jump here, and it turns this circle, goes a loop, and so they've got to learn the track to know how to be the winner, how to get to the end. But it's only after a while, a long time, that one of them actually figures out, well, hold on, you don't go this way. You go backwards. That's how you actually win the race. You have to go backwards the whole way. Like, if he didn't figure that out, if he didn't know that, how could he ever won? He's going the wrong direction. Going in the wrong direction. Like, you've got to be aware. Another one. You're riding a motorbike through a mud puddle. You're like, okay, I've never ridden a motorbike before. Oh, this looks fun. Boom, and you slow down, and then you get stuck in the mud puddle and you fall over. Instead, with experience, you go, I'm going to ride right through it. I'm going to ride right through that mud puddle and get to the other side. So the point is, unless you've experienced some things or you have knowledge through other people's experiences, wink, wink, which we have fucking tens of thousands, if not perhaps millions, I don't know, millions is a lot, but tens of thousands of people with near-death experiences. And this is why, for me, I know what I know here. Because there is so much evidence, and this is evidence. This is evidence. Testimonies from whether or not they're NPCs or not. It's testimonies, and then when you put it all together, it just makes sense. When you look at it from the demiurgic point of view, this is the way reality is working with a reincarnation, soul, spirit trap. So we have a shit ton of information from near-death experiences, pre-birth memories, psychedelic experiences, past life regressions, life in between lives regressions. We have after-death communication. That's probably most of them. There could be a few more, but they're the big ones. They're the big ones. And near-death experiences are huge because they show the actual trap when it's happening. And I've spoken to a few people in person that have had those experiences, and I've listened to well, probably hundreds more. Oh, that could be exact. Oh, no, if it includes the ones I've read as well, yeah, it would be hundreds now. Many of these experiences that all say the same thing. They have commonalities. You've got to be a scientist and look at the scientific pattern that is happening. Because there is a pattern. One, they all say once they disconnect from the physical body, that reality becomes more real. They look back at this as unreal. When they're in a dream, you look at a dream, you're like, oh, well, this is more real than a dream, okay? Higher level of consciousness, that's what they say once they disconnect from the physical body. Practically all of them. And then the second thing is, most of them don't want to come back. The huge pattern between most of them is they don't want to come back, even if they've got family, wife and kids. One woman I met, she was like choking to death in a way while she was sleeping just because she couldn't breathe for whatever reason. And she saw her grandma, who was dead, but she saw her grandma. This is a very popular one, quite common actually. People seeing their grandma. And they see the grandma, and the grandma's beckoning her over and, standing there looking very happy, and she just wants to go join. And just going over to go join the grandma, that's giving consent to the system that you want to engage with it. You're consenting in micro steps. It needs micro step consent. Each part of the way you are stepping, going towards the light, you are stepping forwards and going towards it and consenting and agreeing to not be self-determining anymore, but to have your path built, directed and controlled for you. It's parroted, like in a computer game. They say it's parroted when you can only go this path, follow the missions this way, compared to a free world game where you can choose your missions and go wherever you want. It's parroted. It is designed. Boom, here's the grandma, go this way, and then grandma's going to take you over this way, and then this is going to happen. Boom, 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 boom. It's outside of your control. You are just a passenger instead of the driver of the vehicle. The third commonality we see between all of them is that there always is an agenda, a path to direct you upon instead of you directing your own path. Here, come with grandma. Oh, here's Jesus. Come with Jesus. Oh, there's the light. You know, we're going to beam you with fucking such loving, intense feelings. You just want to go towards this light like a drug addict, like a heroin junkie, like a moth to a flame. Boom. What happens to the moth when it flies into the flame? Gets burnt. So it's just drawing you in. That's what they want to do. They want to draw you in. They want to magnetically lure you upon the path that they have designed, instead of you being on your own path, knowing your own designs, your own choices. What do you actually want? And so I can explain all of this, but at the same time, it's going to take a lifetime to fully comprehend, to really know. Like, that's why at this point, I would like to live for as long as possible as I can in this body, even in this terrible world, though at the same time, self-mastery is about not suffering anymore in this world, and I don't suffer anymore. I went through torture, lots of torture and suffering, and I learned that I don't want to do that anymore. Combined with doing a Vipassana 10-day meditation and listening to the Buddha's teachings about Shila Panya Samadhi, morality, learning, anyway, it just helps you overcome suffering. That was fantastic, and now I don't suffer anymore, which is great. Now, it's almost been a year since I haven't suffered. It's like, oh, wow, that's fucking fantastic. That's a big step in the right direction. But a lot of people say enlightenment is just the freedom from suffering. No, that's just the beginning, man. That's the start. Like, you got to get to that point, then you can actually start. Like, if you're still suffering, you haven't started properly. You got to get there, then you can keep on working on yourself. People like, the goal of life is to be happy. No, that's just the best state in which to achieve goals. Happiness isn't the goal. Like, a total self-mastery, total self-realization, self-actualization, self-determinism, like totally being sovereign, knowing and living that, being that. These things are the real goals, the real purpose and mission, is to do this, to achieve all those things, and then to leave the matrix properly. Like, for me, at any rate, that's what I want. Why? Because I can dream of a better world. If you can too, there's a bloody high chance you are spirit. If you cannot, that's because you cannot think outside of this system, outside of this matrix. You are confined. Your mind is confined just to the inside of this matrix, and you cannot conceptualize or imagine creating your own world or any other type of infinite different experiences which are possible. If this is possible, they can be possible too. Just have to have the right knowledge, the right knowingness of how to do it. 37 minutes in already. Now, this has taken a while. Alright. I'm still only on step 1 out of 5 steps. But I hope you're finding this valuable so far, watching this video. I hope you're enjoying it and making some internal cognitions and taking this information I'm giving to you and then conceptualizing inside your own mind and go, oh yes, I see that, that makes sense. Oh no, I don't like that part. That part's good, that part's good. I don't agree with that just yet. I don't know what he meant when he said that. As Bruce Lee said, absorb what is useful, discard the rest. Find what is useful from this information and use it for yourself in a beneficial way for yourself and for others. So back to number 1, which is just knowing the trap, knowing the sales pitch. I mean, this is a pretty fucking big one just in of itself. And I learned a lot of this just from listening to people's actual real life, or more than real, ultra real life experiences going through this system. Yeah, I was finishing off with that woman I met who had that experience. She was choking, saw the dead grandma, got diverted. I've come back to it now, and she had her kids trying to wake her up, shaking her, waking up, but she didn't even want to come back to the kids. She was like, no, I just want to go with grandma, or her mum, right? Oh wait, sorry, no, was it her mum or her grandma? I'm not sure, but anyway, I think it was her grandma. And she just wanted to go with her. She didn't even want to come back. And imagine that, having kids, that you love and cherish and adore and all that, you brought into this world, and you're like, nah, fuck it, I want to go. Imagine feeling that. It's hard to comprehend, but that's what everyone who goes through this experience says, and there's lots and lots of evidence for this, lots of testimonies. They've got nothing to gain. from sharing this, and most of the time they don't even know what they're talking about, meaning they don't really understand what was happening. They think it's all love and light, and it's a good thing to be reincarnated and to have angels and beings assist you in the crossover, but it's all just submission and obedience to something that is not your design. Doesn't matter how natural it is, it's still outside of your design. You are the character in someone else's authority or someone else's story. That's what authority comes from, the word author, right? Someone who writes a story, the creator. They are the dictator. The dictator, right? Because they're dictating the story. Just made that connection then. How good. So they use a plethora of different tricks. They use guilt, shame, karma, authority, missions, purpose, that you're special. They use temptations. They use love, attachment, validity and validity that this is real and worth experiencing this realm. There's lots of different reasons. I can go in depth on each of those specific what do you call them? Attachments or anchors to this realm, or just attachments and anchors to not being sovereign, to not knowing ultimate truth, that you have the ability to be self-determining, to create your own world, if you so wish and you so desire. Because if this world can be created, why could you not create your own world? You create a fucking world every night when you go to sleep. You create a whole world. You know, and you have no idea what you're doing, and you still do a pretty good job to create a world. Imagine if you had the knowledge you do now. Imagine if you were expanded beyond and disconnected from the physical body and had expanded consciousness. Like, what kind of world could you create then, if that's what you wish? Perhaps you just wish to be in the void and just have and actually experience nothingness, because you can't experience no existence, because you can only experience that which can be experienced, right? So if you just want to be in a void state for eternity, fantastic, do that. But if you want to create, right, you have that ability, because it's possible. That's what they don't want you to know. Because if you don't know that, then you think this is all that there is. You think you are always just a servant. You are the tissue floating in the wind. The tissue just goes wherever the wind is blowing. Go here, go there. And another tissue asks, so where are you going to go next? I don't know. I have no control. The wind just blows me and I go. Rather than being a butterfly in the wind and going, well, I'll let the wind take me until I don't want it to take me anymore. Then I'll fly over here. Then I'll fly over there. The wind's trying to take me this way. I don't want to go that way. I'm going to go that way. Instead of being the tissue, being at the whim of entities that do not care about you and do not have your best interests at heart. So, man, this is going to be a long video. Fuck. Getting hungry too. Alright. Self-mastery must overcome. So let's look at guilt and shame. Actually, no, what I'm going to do is describe one of the most common experiences. There are lots of different types of experiences people have, but this is a common one. People disconnect from the physical body. They see the tunnel of light. Everyone's heard of that. Go towards the tunnel of light. No, don't do that, right? The tunnel of light is the trap. It is what appears to be a technology that these aliens, these things, these entities are using against us, against spirit people in general, right? And that's a good question. Is this whole reincarnation trap happening to spirit and NPCs, or all types of beings, or is it only for some kinds of beings? That's a good question to ponder. But let's just ponder and treat it as if it is happening to everyone. And so, because if you do that, you'll be prepared. If it doesn't happen to you, well, fantastic. It's like the saying, I prefer to have a gun and not need it than need it and not have it, right? Pretty simple. Like, do you want to take the risk of not being prepared? That's fucking risky, man. Why would you? If there is a chance that you could come back and have your memories wiped or be at their mercy again, why risk that? Like for me, I'm going to do absolutely everything in my power so I can be fully self-determining and control my experience 100% to the highest levels that are possible. Yes, so going towards the light, let's say, and then a lot of the time people go, oh yes, I go towards the light because it felt so fucking good. It's just like we call it a love bomb in the field of researchers who study this stuff, a love bomb. And so this love bomb is irresistible for most people. Actually, there is one case where someone was going down the tunnel of light and they actually used their intention and they were able to go, I don't want to go down here, boom, and they turned away. Quite powerful. Very powerful, really. Because, yeah, you actually listen to people explain it, and it is unimaginable how powerful this thing is. And they use love as a weapon to sucker you in and lure you into their system, into their trap. Actually, I was just thinking, I would have spoken about this a lot in my Life After Death series. If you haven't watched that, definitely watch it. But this is just going over it again, right? How to leave the Matrix. Like, if you actually want to leave, you won't mind watching a long video. And I recommend watching at least 2 times speed, right? You can get in information a lot quicker and you'll find you can actually comprehend that. You know, just take yourself to the next level. So, the guilt, the shame. Oh, yeah. So they go into the tunnel. A lot of the time they might see Jesus or they see Buddha. Because what it appears, remote viewing is another way we know what we know, is remote viewers, say from the Farsight Institute, they're one of the people that groups that remote view, and they explained that they see a machine, or one of the ladies saw a machine that basically can scan your light body, scan your field, and they know everything about you. They know you better than you. They go, like if you get a rash on your face, even now, they'd be like, oh, we know why that's happening. But you don't know. You're like, oh, I don't know. It could be because of this, or this. I don't care. I don't know why it's happened, right? But they're like, yep, we know that's because he was feeling this and did that. Exactly. Like they just know everything about you better than you know yourself. That is also why it's very important to know yourself, to shine the light of your consciousness onto all the parts that are unobserved of yourself, all the egotistical parts that are not true, that are lies, that are essentially just unobserved self. You really need to look into those. So then it can't be used against you. Total self-realization, knowing yourself in totality, because if you don't know yourself, they will manipulate, they can use whatever they fucking need to manipulate you and deceive you into coming back, right? If you have the chicken farm, the chicken jumps over the fence and escapes. You're just going to let that chicken escape? You go, no, I created you for food for me. Like, I bought you. I put effort into having the chicken there. I don't want my energy wasted, right? And what if all the other chickens see and then all the other chickens jump out? That's not good. No. So you run after that chicken, you grab it and you throw it back into the cage. And then you electrify the fence. But then you realize, well, the chicken, first of all, they jump into the fence. They go, oh, it's electric. Okay. Well, what do they do next? Jump over the fence. They fly. And they figure out how to fly over the fence. And you're like, well, I'm still not standing for that. I grab it and put it back in and make the fence higher. And you're like, well, the chicken, and then they end up flying again. They jump onto the coop and then they fly over. So you're like, fuck, I'm going to clip the wings. So you do whatever you can to stop the chickens escaping because you don't want them to. They're yours from your perspective. Like, Darth Vader doesn't want you waking up from the dream, and so every time you get close, he's going to try and figure out a way to stop you. So even if you only know yourself 99%, there is a percentage that you can be manipulated by. That's why, really, we need to live as long as possible in this life, so then we can learn 100% how not to come back, how to ascend past this realm, to get out of here. And then, I'll getting into the end, I'll leave that to the end, but I don't plan on dying as well. I'll save that for later. I mean, no one really plans to die. Oh no, actually some people do plan on dying. That's true. Samurai and fucking martial artists and stuff. A good death is its own reward. True. But anyway. The light tunnel, scanning technology, they know you better than you know yourself. Okay. And so they custom design a simulation, an experience that's best suited to convince you to go along with it and to be a passenger in the ride. And yes, I understand it could be very difficult as well to exercise your power and intention because we've been so disconnected and cut off from it. That's why practicing your power here is key as well. Self-mastery, overcoming your emotions, overcoming your defects and weaknesses, overcoming suffering, not letting other people control your emotional state, not being addicted to materialistic things, wealth and materialistic power and influence and ego and cars and houses and drugs and alcohol and cigarettes and all sorts of stuff. Overcoming all that, self-mastery, which we get into, that's number 3. So we're still on number 1, knowing the trap. There's so much to this. I'm gonna keep going for another 10 minutes and then I'm gonna have a break, but it won't be long for you. So tricks they use, the light, boom, they know. They're like, okay, these guys are Christian, bang, put up the shape-shifting entity of Jesus. Jesus comes out. Yes, come into the light, my son, right? Boom, you go into the light, the love bomb. Or it's Buddha or the dead grandma. And maybe you don't even see the light. It's just a beautiful field. And, oh, grandma's there. Or you were in, there's an ancient Roman building with great pillars or the Colosseum or somewhere that, whatever you take your fancy to. The beach, like a hut by the beach, the mountains, somewhere beautiful, somewhere that's good for you. Or it just could be the tunnel of light. And there's always these good feelings, really good feelings that are associated with that. Because they know, what it appears to, created the human body. So they know all its weaknesses. They know its strengths too. So they're going to work on the weaknesses. Oh, humans are easily manipulated by the way they feel. They've only experienced a lifetime of being human because they can't remember anything outside of that because they were tricked into being here in the first place and had their memories wiped or at least blocked as spirit, being spirit outside of this realm. So that's all they know, really. All they've experienced. They might know more, but they've only experienced being human. And humans are manipulated by their feelings. Oh, especially the pleasurable ones. So let's make them feel pleasure, because that's going to be a very powerful influence to get them to do what we want them to do. Imagine this. So I'm explaining the light right now. The light, how people always say, oh, it's so powerful and so beautiful and so overwhelming. I want to go with it. I want to merge with it. I want to be it. They think it's God. They think it's everything and they want to be with the light. So, and then they follow the light. And as they follow the light, it appears that there is some kind of memory wipe that is happening. Their memories of Earth, their connection to Earth, they're forgetting their suffering. And then they're in the next stage and it progresses. It's a slow progress in the totalitarian's tiptoe of you being in a physical body, dying, being in the astral etheric realms. That's what it appears this place is, where they're going: place, vibration, frequency, state of being. And they need to tiptoe you along from being in a physical body to dying to being in the astral etheric to then reincarnating. Because they don't want you to go. They need you to reincarnate into another physical body, which you are more limited, so then they can have more control, so then they can keep using you to power their life. Essentially. How crazy. So, the light. All right. And how light and love can be used as a weapon. People are like, what? Love? Love is the highest there is. Love is great. Yeah, sure, love is great, but there's different types of love as well. People are not understanding. It's like if I go to a bar, I walk up to a hot chick at the bar and I say, hey, how's it going? And she says, you're ugly, I don't like you, and I have a boyfriend, go away. I'm like, okay. Walk away, right? And I'm like, oh, that didn't go so well. So I pull out my little gun, my love gun, and I go, nope. And I shoot her with a love gun. And then I walk over and I say, hi, how's it going? And she's like, oh, I'm going so good. I feel amazing. And I say, hey, you want to come back to my place and have sex? And she's like, yes, oh, that sounds fabulous. Let's go now. And she starts undressing on the way back to my van. It's like, well, what happened there? That wasn't a free will. That wasn't like really consciously consenting. That was a manipulation. That was a deception, because I knew how to deceive her, and I used technology to adjust the way she was feeling. She said she had a boyfriend, thought I was ugly, didn't like me, not in the mood, didn't want to. But as soon as I changed the state of experience, of feeling, boom, Apologies, it cut out because my recording capacity got full. My phone was full. So I had to delete some old videos, clean up a bit of mess. I've still got a lot more cleaning up. Like, when was the last time you actually cleaned up your phone? Went through all your photos and videos and went, yep, okay, I'll keep that, put that into a nice folder, you know, different, like label it with a category, and you keep those videos. And at the moment, I'm actually backing up videos onto a USB videos just like this that I've uploaded onto the internet, but I want a backup. So I'm just putting it onto a USB now while I speak. So continuing on from that example there with the woman who was deceived, I just want to get this, if I can, a little bit straighter. Okay, that'll do. And so that's a way that love can be used as a weapon to modulate someone's feelings, to bend them to your will. It's like a superpower. Make people feel what you want, and then they'll be at your mercy. Jasper from Twilight can do this, make people feel differently to control them. Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvel, right? Avengers. Yeah, Mantis. And what is she? She's a bloody mantis being, like these praying mantis insectoids that, who through testimonies of people sharing their experience, say that they do manipulate humans' energy and their emotions and their feelings to get them to do what they want. I can't get over the idea of the proboscis or the proboscis or something. It's like if you do a DuckDuckGo search on that word, it's like a sucking device that bugs have to suck fluids up. Like, I think that's what a mosquito sticks into, a proboscis or something. And yeah, this guy had an experience where he saw one of these mantis beings. I don't know if he was tripping on some psychedelics or what happened, but yeah, he saw one of these mantis insectoids, and they were telling him that their race use human energy as like currency, and they feed off them and are energetically attached to them. Yeah, crazy interesting stuff. Yeah, if you want to know more about that, in my Life After Death series, I've got a shit ton of links to go study. You'll spend a long time studying all this stuff that I'm speaking, and so you can figure out, well, how's he saying what he's saying? Where does he get all these ideas from? And I've got my ideas from out there that I have put together in here, and then come up with my own little spins on things and my own internal cognitions and recognitions. Oh, cognitions or recognition? Well, to re something is to do again. Anyway, besides the point. All right, so the light is a trap, and if you aren't aware of how that light works, and that it's going to be manipulating your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, how are you meant to be prepared for that? If you have no idea, that's probably why we're here again. If we've been reincarnated in the past, or why everyone else falls for that trick, they just don't know. It feels like a good thing. Oh, I felt it was safe. I felt like I could trust it. It was honorable and loving and caring. More love than ever imagined. Boom, you go there. Like, with this knowledge now, what it actually does, hearing from people's experiences, like, no, I don't care how good I'm going to feel. No, not going that way. Fuck off. And the guy I learned a lot of this stuff from as well, Mark from Forever Consciousness Research Channel, I like his perspective where he says, that's not even going to happen in my reality. Nah, not even going to see the tunnel of light. I've adopted that as well. Nah, I'm bypassing that shit. Even though it's like, oh, what a test of will to be able to see if you can resist the power of the light. It's like, do you want to take that risk? Like, oh, I don't want to believe in that stuff. No, that stuff doesn't happen. Do you want to take that fucking risk? Up to you. I'm not taking that risk. I've heard way too many people say this is what happens, and then it just fits and makes sense. That's what this reality would do. It's just something twisted, sick, and evil, demented, parasitic that this demiurgic world would do. So it's more likely that it's happening than it's not. Can I be absolutely certain? No. Can I be certain enough to go, fuck, well, I'm preparing for that shit, and it's not going to happen in my reality because I've prepared for that. Yes, I can do that. So that is knowing the trap. Oh no, I thought that was going to be the end of it, but no, it's not, because there's more to the trap than just the light. And knowing that that loved one is, whether it's Jesus, dead grandma, your dog, Buddha, you from the future, it could look right, you, oh, I'm from the future, and actually I know more than you, or you from the past, or you from whatever they need to do, right? Just run those simulations in your head. If I was them, what would I do? How would I trick me? What would I do, right? And then know, okay, well, No, none of it's going to work. None of it's going to work. But okay, but continuing what they also try and do, because it might not work in a sequential, linear kind of thing where this happens and this happens, this happens. It might be just all, it's experiencing all at the same time, or who fucking knows? There's lots of different ways it can go. That's why you want to know their full system of how to manipulate people. And really what you're learning is the system of how to manipulate people. And you want to learn this not so then you can manipulate people, but you cannot be manipulated. And so you're aware that whenever someone is manipulating you, you go, I'm being manipulated. That's not fucking good. I don't want anything to do with you because you're trying to manipulate me. Bye-bye. See ya. Can't be trusted. Bye. So, let's say you've gone down to the tunnel of light. No, actually, no, I'm not even putting that out there. I'm just going to say what happens to people. They go down that tunnel and then a lot of the time they'll have a life review. And so this life review is just looking at their life from their perspective and other people's perspectives who have been in their life. And so if they've hurt someone or, if they've hurt someone, right, then they will view that from the other point of view. If they've broken up with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, they'll feel that boyfriend or girlfriend's pain and that suffering. And then what these entities do masterfully is they will use guilt and shame to control you. Guilt and shame. They will make you feel guilty and shameful for doing what you did. And then they say, well, you've accrued negative karma. You did this thing that was wrong. That was bad. And Jesus says, imagine it's Jesus, right? That's a common one. Jesus says, look, my son, I want you to come to heaven with me, but from the way you behaved in this lifetime, you caused too much pain and suffering and you need to rectify it. I really don't want to send you to hell. I don't want you to go to hell, but you can't come into heaven yet. So what I'm going to do for you, my son, and I don't normally do this, this is a special occurrence, is that I'm going to give you another chance, another opportunity to go to earth and to live again. And they're doing you a favor. He's doing you a favor. You get to go and live again, but you need to have your memories wiped so then you don't have these memories interfering with the way you live your life just to get into heaven. I need to know that you're actually a good man deep down and you can rectify your mistakes. Like, how are you meant to do that if you don't remember them? That's difficult, very difficult, if not impossible. So they use that, the guilt and shame, karma, and then linked in with authority. That's all there. They use that as a weapon against you to agree to consent because they need your consent. They need your authority. You have to sign on the dotted line agreeing to be their little bitch forever and ever and ever. Or just at this time, this life, And Jesus says, oh, I'll send you back down, and then this time after you live a proper life and you come back, Ryan, see me next time, then I'll take you to heaven. Then you can move on. They're like, yeah, okay, let's do it, Jesus, come on. And they don't realize this has probably happened before. They have no idea how many times it's happened before. It could have happened 100, could have happened a fucking billion times before. Because every time he says the same shit and it keeps on working on your dumb fucking mind. You just don't get it. Yeah. Passion coming out because I was that ignorant, stupid fool believing in Jesus myself. So that's just back at me. You stupid fool, believing someone else had authority over you, over me. What a silly, silly, stupid thought. Because I can see how that is a hook. That's why Jesus, like, I don't believe he was a man. No, an idea, a character, sure. Perhaps he did have did represent some good morals. Yeah, cool, okay, that's nice, right? But the letter J was only invented a few hundred years ago, apparently, according to history, by the Jesuits. And look at the letter J. What's that look like? What's Jesus's fish? What's his sign? It's a fish Pisces sign. A J looks like a hook. Jesus. Apparently, in Latin, is like can be likened to a type of fish. He's just a fisherman. He's a fisherman. Admiralty, maritime law of the sea. It all links in. You come out of your mother's waters, the mother's hips. Hips is a ship. Mother's ship, alien stuff. Mothership. Oh, this is the mothership, the demiurge, the womb, pregnant void of the matrix reality. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, so another strategy they use to trick you is with a mission that you have a purpose and you're special. Oh, you're such a light being. You're so great. You're wonderful. Talk to the ego and They just inflate your sense of self. You're so powerful. The earth's dark. We need your light there. You need to bring justice and seek revenge. There's so much evil. We need you to be Batman, to be Buddha, the next Jesus. Go down there, my son. Purpose, mission. Powerful. Yeah, all this stuff. Like, fuck off. No. Nah. Not happening, right? They use that as well, and you could see how people could get sucked into that one as well. You could see it. You can feel it within yourself until you're aware of that, and you go, oh, yeah, okay, actually, no. No. Temptations. Oh, all these beautiful women. This will probably be one of my temptations. Oh, women. Damn. But, oh, beautiful women. Oh, you can have all the women. You can have the power. You can have this and that and control and that. You go, no, not happening. Get out of here. Nothing's going to bring me down. Well, like that little dance. I don't normally do that. Well, there you go. So, temptations. That's going to be huge. If you were them, how would you tempt yourself? Oh, you can stay within the matrix. You can build your own world exactly like you want it. You know, just wink, wink, nudge, nudge. In a million years, we'll come and fucking, subvert that too. We'll make it ours. Just, you'll let you survive for a million years doing what you want. Yeah, you'll forget. Even in a state of God mind, a million years is a long time. Yeah, okay. No, not going to do that. Not building a world inside of your matrix. I could do that outside of your matrix. No, thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, but for love. Do it for love. Don't you care about people? What about humanity? They're going to suffer without you. You're the only one that can bring balance to the force, Neo. Yes, for love, for care. No. Attachment, attachment's more that they can use your attachments against you. So if you are attached to love or temptations or family, friends, materialistic things, just like what you do day to day, your own attachment to self, your attachment to self of who you have become and who you are in this life, no matter how small or great you are, how much you love or hate yourself, attachment, identification and attachment with this form that I call James, that I really don't, that you might call whoever you call yourself. And then, validity that this is real. Like, yeah, you've got to come back. You've got to care about people in this world because it's all real. They're not NPCs. Like, this is the real reality, and this is all there is, and this is the way it is, and you can't change that. You're subject to the forces and laws of nature and reality and God says it's this way because it can't be any other way. This is how it is, forever, now, and always. Validity. This place is valid. This is what you must do. This is the way things are. You can't control it, you can't change it. This is how it has been forever and always will be forevermore. Yeah. No. Fuck off. No. I know that's not true. I know it's not true. So I'm not doing it. Because you're a liar. What's that? I think it's out of the Bible, actually. Like, their deeds speak louder than their words or something. But you can tell a man from his actions or the seeds he sows. It's like they're just liars. They don't believe anything. Though the best lies are with bits of truth. And obviously, well, not obviously actually, but you don't want to even get into this situation where you're arguing with them, right? Like sometimes that people go to a court and they're standing before a court, or they're in a city of crystal light, or they're in the field and this all happens, a life review, or they're in a space station above the earth, or they're just riding through different doors and rooms through a place which doesn't exist in time and space or whatever, and dimensional ancient Egyptian gods and all this. Just like, fuck off. No, I'm skipping your whole system. I'm doing nothing. I'm having nothing to do with it. I'm not going down the light. Any entities coming my way, no. That's my triple P plan. I'll come to that later after this 5-step process. The triple P plan: protection, power, and portal. So that's number one. Know the trap. Know the sales pitch. That took me a while to get through that. And that's just starting to cover some of it. If you want to know more about that, you're really got to spend some time. Forever Consciousness Research channel is fantastic because he just does narrations over people's actual experiences of what actually happens when people die and exit the body. Like, you can't get a higher source of information than that. And if you can, like, fucking prove it to me. I want some evidence, because that's some very solid shit there. That's almost indisputable. You're like, That's some very high level knowledge or information that we can put together and see the bigger picture. All right, number 2, sovereignty and self-determination. If you want to get through this shit, if you want to leave the matrix, you need to know you are sovereign. First of all, you need to know what that fucking word means. What does sovereign even mean? No one knows it. Oh, well, barely anyone knows it, right? And then even the people that know it don't even live it. Well, I do know people that live it, but very few. Very few. Oh, you don't need sovereignty. That's a materialistic thing. No, you're not understanding what sovereignty means. Sovereignty is being your own supreme authority. You are the supreme ruler of your life. You're not even a ruler of your life. You are just in control. It's knowing that you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You can always say no. As Mark Passio said in one of his presentations, the most powerful word is no. Well, that's what he says, whether it's the most powerful word or it's just a very powerful word. No, not doing that. You must pay tax. No. You need a driver's license. No. You have to pay the parking fine. No. You have to move on. You're not allowed to stay here. No. You have to go to court. No. You have to do what I tell you because I'm authority. No. If you can't do that in this realm, how the fuck are you going to do it up there? If you cannot be sovereign and know your sovereignty and live it here, you are fucking dreaming on a different planet. You think you're going to be getting out of here without knowing your sovereignty. That is delusional. You need to be sovereign here. Like this is like where it's easier. Up there, in different realms of existence, there'd be fucking more tricks. There'd be more well, I don't know that 100%, but just assume that. It could be more difficult in different realms to, well, I don't know. But I was going to say to assert your sovereignty. Perhaps it's actually easier in these higher realms to assert your sovereignty, but how do you really even know what sovereignty is if you haven't experienced it? Oh yeah, I know sovereignty. Yeah. It means to be ruler of self and, you know, you're your own god and king, queen, right. But it's like, did you live it while you were there on Earth? No, I didn't live it. I still paid taxes, paid parking fines, did what the police told, wore a mask, got jabbed. I still, you know, did what the cop told me, did what the courts told me to do, and all that. It's like, okay, those who know but do not do not know. Those who know but do not know. If you know what sovereignty is, you must live it. How can you go back unless you are a coward and a weakling, just being intoxicated by fear? Caffeine does that. There's lots of other physical things that you put in your body which puts you into a fear state. Why do you think anxiety and depression is so high in the world at the moment? There's lots and lots of reasons, but one of them is the poisons that they're putting into their body that they think are enjoying and helping them pass the time here and dealing with the suffering of the world. That's what's causing the suffering, putting all that poisonous shit. It's a big part of what's causing the suffering and holding you back from overcoming your own weaknesses. And holding you back from being the self-determining sovereign being you really are. Everyone actually is. It's just those people who know it and those who don't. You are sovereign. Are you going to live it? Because then, when it comes to these situations where a cop says, you have to do this, a parking ticket, a piece of paper says, you have to do this, you go, no. No, obviously in a bit more detail than that. I've got other videos about that, plenty, right? But it's the same thing in the astral etheric realm. If you die, disconnect from the physical body, or anything happens, whether it's in a psychedelic trip or a dream state simulation, interdimensional tunnel world, whatever, you know your sovereignty. They say you have to do this, or they don't typically say it outright like that, but they'll use smooth, silky, subtle deception. Oh, this is the way it's done. Oh, this is what you need to do, blah, blah, blah. You go, no. I don't need to do anything that someone else wants me to do. No, I'm sovereign. You need to reincarnate. No. You need to feel guilty for your crimes. No. You need this, do that. No. No. Can't emphasize that enough. Right? So you need that self-determination. Self-determine. Like with my life now, people ask me sometimes, they say, so what do you really want to do? What are you planning on doing? What do you really want to do? Is there anything you want to do that you're not doing now? No, I'm already doing it. Like, for what's possible within this realm, I'm already doing it. I'm living my van life. I'm free. I don't need to work. I'm not bound by matrix constraints. I have an income, and it's not much, but it's enough. It's more than enough for me. I prefer to be wealthy in time than wealthy in money. I can do these things, make videos, write, read, listen, explore, have fun with friends, play Xbox games, watch movies, TV shows, explore nature, swim in the ocean, swim in the waterfalls, and then read some more, make some more videos. Like, I prefer to be doing what I actually want to do, not what the Matrix wants me to do. It's a whole nother level. If you're still living in the Matrix, working a job you don't want to be doing, and I can simply ask this by saying, if you weren't getting money, if you weren't getting paid to do what you're doing, would you still be doing it? Well, no. Then why are you doing it? Because I need money. Okay, do you think you're capable of figuring out a way to make enough money to live comfortably? Do you think you're capable of doing that? Well, yeah, okay, how about you work on that and build that source of income? And yes, I know it can be difficult as well and can take a lot of work, but there are ways. And it's like, well, full time, why do people need that much money? Like, figure out a way to live where you really don't need much money. You may even, you're like, okay, I don't want to build a business, can't afford an investment property, I don't want to learn about crypto. I just want to work a job which I actually enjoy and only do it for 10 hours a week and get, you know, $200 a week, or maybe you work 20 hours a week. I don't know what a normal pay rate is. It's like, why do you need $1,000 a week? Oh, because my rent is $600 a week. Why the fuck are you paying $600 a week rent? That's stupid. Unless you just want to be in the Matrix and you love your job. Perhaps if you love your job, and it's a fantastic job helping people. I loved my last job because I built it. It was my boot camp business. 10,000 plus a week. Some weeks we did very well. I had a team of 4 working with me, hundreds and hundreds of clients, transformed their lives. I set my hours. I did what I wanted. To a certain extent, it was fantastic. It was good, really good work. Then I had gear problems and I decided to close the business. And good, because I ended up here. But that was fun. I was in control of my income. But I feel wealthier now on living on $300 a week than 10,000. Because now I can do exactly what I want. I do like helping people and the boot camp and training people. That's fantastic. That really is cool. It's cool, yeah. But I prefer to be doing this. Even though if I could do that, like a little bit here and there, that would be fun and nice too. But it takes a lot of energy and a lot of work. And it's a big distraction from all of this stuff, especially if it's your own business, because you are the one building that. You get better return on investment and reward. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that. Okay, so yeah, sovereignty, self-determination. You determine the course of your life, because if you can't determine it here, how are you going to determine it anywhere else, really? So self-mastery. Number 3 is self-mastery. What does that mean? So overcome addictions. That's one part, which can be used against us. Addiction to sex, to porn. Ooh, these ones are difficult, I know. Addictions to caffeine, coffee, sweet things, food, water. Like, I'm on the path of breatharianism now. Slowly, slowly, slowly tiptoeing towards it. I'll get there, even though I haven't been doing it for long, doing very well. Just changing up the diet. Die with a T. What's a T look like? Crucifix. A diet kills you in the end. That's what it does. So there's all these different addictions to alcohol, to cigarettes, to fucking all sorts of things people are addicted to, meaning it's outside of their control, or they're using it as a mood regulator because they can't control their emotions, because they haven't dealt with trauma and they're still suffering. So they use these addictions as a way to make themselves feel good so then they can cope with the suffering of existentialism, of existing. So yeah, I fucking get that. I've been that. I've done that. Gone through most of it. Like, I don't smoke anymore. I don't drink anymore. I don't smoke weed anymore. And I used to do all those quite heavily. But with time comes change. Only with desire. So overcoming addictions. And I see drinking and eating as an addiction that has a possibility of hooking you and anchoring you, attaching you to this material realm. That's why I want to overcome that and go on the path of breatharianism, where I'm not reliant upon food and drink. And really, because a big part of it is just it's an emotional addiction. It's not the physical. It's not a physical survival system, because people live without needing to eat or drink, and they're better. They're better off. They're healthier and fitter and what do you call it? More energetic and lively. Alatom Alamin. I really like him on YouTube. He's got a lot of good stuff to say. And just these other breatharians, they sleep less, all that. It's like, fuck, that's really cool. I like that. And they're not addicted to their emotions. That's what being addicted to food and drink is. It's just being addicted to emotions. And it's like animals need to eat and drink. Like, are you a fucking animal in this world? Because that's what they're trying to make you. All the animal etymology, like with the, look at my word, my video, word magic, and I go into the etymology of lots of words, how they try and call people animals and stuff. No, I might need a drink now. I'm coughing a little bit. Oh, this too shall pass. So, and then overcome like ego. It's like, first of all, figure out what the ego is. I'm still trying to do that, right? Figure out what the ego is. Overcoming the ego. Because the ego can be manipulated, right? It's the darkness of self that you are unaware of. If you have a girlfriend, if I have a girlfriend, right, and I say, we're going to be in an open relationship, she said, yeah, cool. And then I see her walking down the street holding hands with a guy that she told me she was going to hang out with, and I get jealous. It's like, why am I jealous? Ego. Because there's part of my consciousness I haven't shone the light in. And I'm attached to that weakness, to that lie. Because truly, why would I be jealous? It's like, we said we're going to be in an open relationship because I'm totally self-confident in myself and have a high level of self-esteem and self-worth. I don't need you. You don't need me. We both feel like that. We're both worthy of each other. We're both worthy of ourselves. I'm totally confident in myself. Like, I have no need to be jealous. So if I saw her and she's walking down the street holding someone's hand, why would I get jealous? Ego, because something is unobserved. There's a weakness inside that goes, oh, what if she leaves me for him? Oh, weakness. Like, that seems to be what ego is, a lot of weakness. You may disagree with this, sure, cool, but at least have a good response why you disagree on that. And it's not just that. There's other examples too. Envy. Oh, that person's got a nicer car than me, a nicer house. Why are you envious? Well, because I actually don't feel good enough about myself, and I don't like it when people look at me because I live in a van and I don't have a Ferrari, and so I get envious of people that drive by with a Ferrari. It's like, look into yourself, man. Overcome that shit, because when I see a man that has a better body than me, a man that has a hotter girl than I have, right? If I see a man that has a bigger house, makes more money, is more good looking, what was another one? Any of those, right? Oh yeah, Ferrari, I think. Like, for the Ferrari, I go, fuck, that's cool, that's a cool car. Good on him, he's got a cool car. You know, if I see a guy with a better body, I go, well, cool. You know, I'm not jealous of that. I'm inspired. I want to have a body like that. That's fantastic. I'm going to work harder. Yeah, great. Hey, mate, how'd you do what you did? Yeah, maybe even ask him. Got a more beautiful woman than I'm with. Oh, fantastic. Good on him. Lucky him. Like, perhaps he's just an NPC and she's an NPC. Or they're just both very low consciousness and resonate. Or maybe they're not both. They're super high consciousness, resonate towards you. Oh, fantastic. Oh, I can do that too. And if it doesn't happen, that's okay. But good on him. He's enjoying himself. The big mansion. Oh, that's a beautiful house. I'm glad you've got that. I would like one of those. But, you know, I'm happy in the van at the moment because I don't want to put in the work being a fucking slave to earn that house. I think it's not worth the trade-off for me. Or I could, building a business and boot camp, but no, I want to, like, knowledge is more important to me. Money may give you choice, but knowledge gives you freedom. And this is the most important knowledge, because this gives you true freedom. How to leave the matrix of limitation of this contained world. So yes, overcoming the ego, overcoming your emotions, like fear especially, you know, when dealing with police or going into court or having a hard conversation with a partner or family friend or loved one, parent, kid, daughter, sister, brother, whatever. Overcoming that. those negative emotions, talking up on stage in front of a group of people, the fear, just these negative emotions that hold you back. It's just like the ego. Oh, I'm scared because the ego doesn't want to look silly when it's up on stage. Ego doesn't want to do this, do that. So, go fuck it. I don't care. Ego can feel however it wants. I'm not going to feel like that because I don't want to feel like that. And really, taking away the chemical poisons like caffeine is huge. And doing that, overcoming your emotions. Oh, and when people break up, I felt so depressed and sad, and it was horrible. I had a thing with a girl once, and it didn't go my way. I was suicidal every day for 6 months. That was terrible. It's like, but it was self-inflicted. I did it to myself. Really, in hindsight, still, it's terrible, shouldn't be experienced, nasty, but I really did do it to myself. But it was just coming from a lack of awareness, and that's from lack of experience. So in a way, it's not my fault because I didn't know. I know now, so I wouldn't do it again, and it's not going to happen like that. So overcoming all the defects of yourself, and because all those defects just lead to suffering and things you don't want, yeah? So that's why you're overcoming that. That's why you're growing and moving in a certain direction, because you want to become a better version of yourself while you are here in this realm. Because what else are you going to be doing? How else are you going to be spending your time if you're not improving yourself? Improving yourself is enjoying yourself. You get to enjoy yourself more. And remastering the pendulum swing from depressed, super happy, like ecstatic, overjoyed, depressed, super happy. My pendulum I've remodeled to be neutral, happy, not overjoyous, not depressed, just neutral, happy. If it swings back, I'm not so happy now. Okay, just a neutral, right? Oh, I'm happy, neutral, happy. Like something bad happens. Oh, back to neutral. Something good happens. Happy. It's fucking a lot better. It's a lot better to do this. I like this a lot more than going whoop, woof. A lot of the time it's just here, like totally fucking torture, suffering, torture, suffering. Like, no, thank you. Very rarely. Oh, super happy. It's just neutral, happy, neutral, happy. Fucking, I prefer that. Much better. Find your own balance, whatever you like. So, the darkness itself. Oh yeah, lust, greed, power, pleasure, all these 7 deadly sins, right? Really looking into that, no ways trying to improve yourself. I don't even like pride now. They say the first sin of the devil was pride. Pride. Like, oh, I fixed this in my van, or I built this house with my bare hands, or I did this, I did that, great accomplishment. I'm proud of what I did. It's like with pride comes attachment and identification, and with identification and attachment comes suffering. As the Buddha said, with attachment comes suffering. So it's like, oh, I'm happy. I fixed this thing in my van, or I look a certain way, or I built this YouTube channel, or I'm this knowledgeable. I'm happy. Am I proud about it? No, because I don't want to attach to that. Because when someone says, your van is stupid, you have an ugly body, you don't know shit, I'm like, oh, okay, all right. There's no attachment there. With pride comes attachment. When someone says those things, you go, no, I have a good body, I got to defend my position. No, my van is awesome. Oh, what was that other one? I'm actually really smart. I'm smart because of this, because I spent this amount of time. It's like, nah, no attachment. No attachment there. Like, you can say what you want. Like, the only thing that's going to hit home is if it's true. And if it's true, thank you for alerting me to its awareness, because now I can fix it and heal it. So then it will never happen again. Any negatives that come my way is just reinforcing my bulletproofness for the future. So, yep. Oh, also another reason why people might come back, how the entities will manipulate you, which is something you haven't worked in yourself, but it's like revenge. Like wanting to seek justice. You go, fuck, this world is just full of injustice. It's so wrong, it's sick. So many wrongs have happened against me. Such evil has been committed against me personally. Tried to poison me with vaccines, poison me with fucking drugs, beat me up by police, lock me away, fucking steal my money, do all this shit, try and humiliate me, fucking all this evil shit, right? And then you're like, I want revenge, I want justice. It's like, yeah, absolutely, fucking they're fine and dandy things to feel. They're totally valid, totally warranted, totally justifiable. But if that's going to be an attachment to keep you linked and hooked on this world, baby, you gotta let it go. You gotta let that go. And go, okay, yeah, that would be nice, but is it possible? No. Okay. Like if I was given the choice to have my revenge, my bittersweet revenge, or to see justice in the world and transform it into the way I see fit, if I was to have that option, or to leave, to be in a higher state of existence in spirit and truth, or to create my own world, go, well, I'll take that one. Fuck this place. Don't buy into the validity of it. So, yeah, all things pass. This too shall pass. I think there was a man that gifted a king. There was some story. He gifted the king this ring, and he said to always keep this ring on him, and like it wrote on the ring, "This too shall pass." So whether it was in good times or bad times, just look at the ring. This too shall pass. Oh, okay. The fleeting nature of all things. Well, perhaps it's only a fleeting nature in this realm, and in different realms it could be no fleeting nature. And it's like, this will not pass if you keep on continuing to focus on this and want it. Eternal pleasure, or yes, perfect heaven. This too shall not pass as long as you continue to focus on it. If you want to change it, then it shall change. Something like that. But in this realm, this too shall pass. Yeah, so detach from the validity. Oh, yeah, revenge and hate as well. You know, like, if you don't hate this world... Actually, I wrote this interesting comment to a friend of mine, Emily. She's making some cool videos. You should check out her channel. I'll have to find it on the YouTube. She's talking about similar concepts. Brilliant for a 19-year-old. Very switched on and intelligent. I was nothing like her when I was 19. I'm just going to read out this comment about hate. Hate gets a bad rap, and I understand why. She says here, to harbour hatred... So this isn't a video, don't get involved with the outer world, it's a distraction. Your perception and reality. Another way you can look at reality is realty, like in real estate. So to harbour hatred is a victim mentality. Take responsibility, as you are the reason you are here. No one put you here, you fell. For numerous reasons, this is not a realm to love. This is not our home, but hate or taking a stance in an opinion is but yet another distraction. You're already here right now, so look at this experience from a higher perspective. Leave this realm to go in circles. This is what she wrote, just to clarify. Leave it to what it does and just continue your journey from point A to point B, unaffected by external factors, particularly duality. You have a journey, the narrow path as thin as a needle. You can't fit luggage through this narrow path. That luggage includes taking on the emotions of hate or love for this realm. It has nothing to do with you, the real you. And then she says, love to you all. I thought it's a bit contradictory. But also, it's like, you are the reason you are here, perhaps, but perhaps not. You could say, well, you walk through the Bindi forest, right? And you got the Bindi stuck in your feet. You're the reason you did that. I didn't know the Bindis were there, you know? You're the reason you didn't win that race in Ready Player One. Well, I didn't know I had to go backwards. It took a while to figure that out. Like, you were the reason why you got stuck in that mud pit on your motorbike. Well, I didn't know I had to go fast through the puddle because I'd never done it before, right? So in a way, yes, you did ride yourself into that puddle. Yes, you didn't drive backwards on that race car. Yes, you did walk over the grass and step on the bindi, but you didn't know. Like, you were deceived in a way. Like when you signed that for the bank mortgage, right? You didn't know that you were creating the money and they didn't lend you anything actually. It's just all fictitious bullshit. And you were just enslaving yourself to a death pledge of fucking debt. You didn't know. That's why you did it. You didn't know. So you felt, yeah, yes, I see what she's saying, but also the onus is on them as well for deceiving. They probably lured us here, yeah? Soul lure system lured us into this realm. This is not our home, yep. And so I said to her, oh, that's why I actually came to this. Okay. And I said, feeling hatred for certain things simply shows awareness at the wrongness of something or someone. If we did not hate, we would never be able to leave this plate. Hatred is what fuels our desire for more and a better experience. Hatred is what shows you are an alive and aware conscious being. hatred of the right things, of course, because you could hate silly, stupid things and it's got nothing to do with anything. You know, you're like, I hate black walls. Black walls are annoying. You know, I hate that football team, but I like this football team. But at the same time, it is unwise and a disservice to self to be consumed by hatred. This can be very destructive to self and is an unpleasant sensation to be constantly stuck in. I know from experience. So recognize the legitimacy and validity of your hate as it is being well played. Oh, because there's a reason for it. There's a reason why you're hating, hopefully, if you have hate. And then ask yourself, is it being well placed or is it irrational, misplaced, and useless? If it is valid, then do not get devoured. Simply recognize, acknowledge, and accept it for what it is, and move on. With your musings, how you could or you can rectify that hate. As obviously hate is linked to a problem. You only hate something when it's a problem. What is your solution, whether possible or not, in this realm? So if you could rectify that problem, if you hate, let's say I hate police, I hate the courts, I hate the pharmaceutical industries, hate the chemtrails, I hate what these Satanists are doing to this world that's outside of my control. So it's like, okay, if I was to build a world, how would I make it so then that doesn't happen? Okay, cool, I have a solution, even if it's not totally possible, or probably not possible in this world. So I have a solution, makes me feel a lot better. And she actually replied, I haven't read this yet, let's see what she said. She said, yes, but harboring means feeling or thinking a certain way long term. The point is to not dwell in the hatred just as much as not dwelling in the love. Okay? Rather just acknowledge things as they are, but don't take part, not getting involved, because it's not your concern. It all has to do with the outer world anyways, and anything outside you is just a temporary illusion. Perhaps, but your perspective on those temporary illusions can be eternal. You could say eternally, I hate the idea of police. I hate the idea of chemtrails. Like, yeah, I fucking do. Like, whether or not, even if I'm in a world that's total heaven, I still fucking hate that idea. That's bad. That shit, like, yeah, no thanks, you know. Not like, oh, I can't talk about anything else. I'm just totally consumed by this hate all the time. It's like, no. If I think about it, yep, still hate it. Fucking hate that. Yep. Internally enslaving people and torturing fucking the innocent and eating kids. Nah, fucking hate that concept. No, not good. No. Yeah, no. Fucking hate that. A lot. Cool. I mean, that's the way I look at it. It's not getting devoured by it. And even love. Yeah, sure, there's certain things I can love in this world. People. And, yeah, even some materialistic things I can go, I love that. Yeah, I love it. Meaning I feel a great affection, fondness, kindness, care towards something or someone or some, yeah. Yeah, okay. Doesn't mean I'm attached to it. I can be connected to those things, but I'm not attached. Attached is more of I fully identifying with and becoming consumed by it. But alas, yes, even still I need to do more contemplation on even everything I've spoken about in this video. All of it. All of it. Continue. Alright, I'm getting back to this. It's taken ages. I didn't think this was going to take this long. I thought this was going to be like a 40-minute video. If you're still with me at this point, well done. You're taking your progression seriously. Know that very, very few do. Oh, now I'm trying to make you feel special then. Oh, I'm doing what they do. You make yourself feel special if that's what you want, but I'm just going to congratulate it anyway for being here. Make sure you like the video. I want likes on the video. I want comments. I do. It inflates my ego. It makes me feel good about myself. And I enjoy it. Yeah, do it. So, detach from validity, know the truth, be connected to that which is good. Respect, care, compassion. Oh yeah, know the truth, be connected to that which is good and worthy of your respect in this world. Care, compassion, and love, but do not be attached to it. Yeah, you could be having a dream and you're a car. Everyone's a car, and you're like your favorite car, a Ferrari. You're like, yeah, I'm a Ferrari. This is fantastic. And there's all these other different cars. Your family is a Lamborghini, a Range Rover, a Porsche. You're like, yeah, I love all these cars. I love cars. It's so good. And then, comes at, at the end of the day, or the end of the dream, you end up crashing, and, your car's dead. Like, no, I don't want to leave yet. Like, I love being a car so much. And you just be like, nah, okay, I love being a car. I want to be something else now. Yep, okay, see ya. Or just, I don't want to be in this. Yeah, it's done. It's over. All right, bye-bye. Maybe one day I'll dream that same dream again, or I'll dream it differently. But, no, I'm gone. All things pass. Okay, so self-mastery. All right, number 4, self-realization and expanded consciousness and imagination of possibilities. So it's like self-realization, really knowing what you are. What are you? I'm still on the path of discovering this. And meditation is beautiful. When you go within, clear your mind of all the thoughts and feelings, etc., and then you realize you can create anything from there, inside your mind. You can create a dream world. You can, you do create dream worlds. You can create imagination world. You can think, you can conceptualize. It all comes from within already. You have that ability to do all. You can create your own world just inside your fucking mind, right? It's all different levels of it. So expand your consciousness and imagination of what's possible. If it's possible to build this world, it's possible to build your own. Imagination. Use your imagination to think inside the matrix and outside of it. Don't bind that. It can be unlimited. Whatever you can imagine, and then whatever you can't imagine. But that's only because you haven't imagined it yet. You haven't had the relevant information to help you. Because we imagine things based upon information that we get from the internal and the external. To soak up all the information and then imagine what you want. So, yeah, really knowing what you are, what is possible in all of existence, discover who you are and what you want to be doing. I've been listening to a guy, Gnostic Antinatalist. Good channel. Good stuff. And, yeah, he's talking about non-existence really isn't a way to go. Though there could still be some merit to it, we just don't understand at this point. But from his point of view, he's got some good points, saying that you can only experience that which can be experienced. You can only exist when you're existing. If you're not existing, how do you know? You only know when you're existing. So if you could be like, yeah, I'm not going to exist forever and ever and ever and never somehow exist again, cool, okay, like actual death, be my guest, go do that. But is that possible? Is that possible? So his argument is to experience perpetual pleasure. Really good idea. Suggest checking out his channel and looking into some of his videos. Recommend it. I've only watched a few at this point from last night. Nonconformist Radio Fish. He's got a interesting channel as well, speaking out some of these similar topics. He recommended the channel. Okay. So, yeah, self-realization and expanded consciousness. And then, so 5, I've got the last step here, is follow what is true to find clarity. Even if you don't like it, you're like, oh, fuck, I don't like that truth. But it's the truth. Okay, all right. Let me find what's true. Let me do that first of all, even if I hate the truth when I find it. So follow what is true to find clarity. Then you can decide if you wish to do what is true or to live a lie. You might find out the truth. You go, that's fucking horrible. That's boring. I don't want the truth. I prefer to live a lie. And you create a lie in whatever shape, means, or form. But, like for me, if I was going to live a lie, I'd want to know from a place of truth. Be like, oh yeah, I'm living a lie, and then get enveloped into the lie. If that was what I chose. So find the highest truth, the knowingness of all reality. And then from that perspective, then you can actually make an informed decision, an informed choice. Like about the jabs, how are you meant to make an informed choice if you don't know anything about it? You can only make an informed choice once you have all the knowledge from both sides. And you go, oh, okay, now I have actual awareness of this and I choose not to do it, right? Maybe that's with reality to existence. We go, okay, well, now I've got all the information compared to non-existence, perhaps, then, yep, don't do existence. That's shit compared to non-existence forever, eternally. Whatever. Yep, so that's a 5-step process. So the first one is knowing the trap, knowing the tricks that they use. Number 2 is knowing your sovereignty, knowing you are not subjected to any authority outside of yourself. You are your own authority. You can do what you want. You don't have to say yes to something you don't want to. You can always say no, right? So sovereignty, self-determinism. Number 3 was, what did I have that? Self-mastery. So mastering yourself. This is the sovereignty one. You can learn that pretty quickly. It only took me a couple of years. But self-mastery, that's going to take decades, right? Decades to get to a very high level of that. Sure, you can make leaps and bounds in months and years, but it's going to take, well, I don't know, I might be wrong with decades, but let's just say decades, right? For total self-mastery, where you say, I am going to do this, and then you do it. Total commander of in every aspect of your life. And then you fine-tune yourself, so you're like, I like the way I did that. I like the way I said that. I don't have any regrets with my behavior. I always behave in the way that I want, and I don't have regrets. It's a good place to aim for. It's going to take a long time. Number 4, self-realization and expanded consciousness. So expanding your awareness of what's possible. Oh, I could be God. I could not be God. I could be an angel. I could be a demon. I could be the devil. I could be this. I could be that. I could be all of it. I could be none of it. I could be some of it. Whatever. Be someone, something, everything, nothing, no one. Expand your consciousness. Expand. Keep on expanding that. And that's just, in a way, that could just keep going and going and going. When does that end, really? Don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Just keep going. Keep going. And then, yeah, 5, follow what is true, find clarity. And so that's applicable here and at the point of death, right? So at the point of death, or what I want, ideally what I'd like to do, is at this point, keep living, keep on learning until I get to a point I'm like, yes, you know, I feel like I actually do know enough. I've learned everything I can learn from this world, and now I'm ready to leave. There's nothing left for me here, and I am going, and I've got my destination. I know what my destination is. It's, yep, that's my destination. And I sit down, I meditate, and I go, and I shift my focus however is possible. You know, I've heard Buddhists actually do this, and then they, or Buddhists or some people, right, disconnect from the body. Their body drops, they're gone. Their spirit, their consciousness, gone. So I prefer to do that rather than being burnt to death or a car crash or shot or locked up or anything nasty and terrible, diseases, bombs. It's like, if I can, because, yeah, if I can do that and fucking be like, yep, I'm choosing when I leave. Yep, it's totally up to me. I'm going to fucking do it. I'm not going to have pain. I'm going to one-up the Matrix. Fuck you. This world's about pain and suffering. I'm not going to be in pain and suffering when I die because I'm choosing not even to die. I'm just going to disconnect from the physical body and leave. I like that approach. I think that's really good. And so, but if for instance, you know, not everything is in our control at this point, or is it? But we don't know. Which means it's not, or is it? If you do die, if you do get hit by a car, a piano falls on your head, or a fucking skyscraper tips over and lands on your ankle or something, right, and you die, then the triple P plan comes into effect. Protection, power, portal. So what I have in mind is protection. Okay, I'm not seeing the light, not going to happen. No entities, if there are any entities trying to talk to me, or telepathy, or do this, do that. Nah. Going within, basically like a meditation, right? Fucking close my eyes. Perhaps you could do that. Close your eyes. No stimuli, just fucking knowledge, expanded awareness. Because a lot of people say with the entities, that's what happened. Boom, consciousness just expands and explodes, and the entities have to reel them in. Come back, come back. You're expanding too much. No good. Come back. You know, here we got something for you to look at, something for you to do, something for you to say. Here, go over here. Oh, life review, and they're like, oh, and the consciousness shrinks back down again. So protection from all the system and the traps and the tricks and all that stuff. Protect yourself. And then power. Protection, power, portal. Power, number 2, second P in the triple P plan. So have a plan. You're going to have a plan. Power. So I want all my memories back. If I've been here more than once, I don't know. Maybe not. I want all my memories back from past lives. I don't remember how I got in here. What exactly happened. You know, maybe I got a theory, my own personal theory, because I remember a dream when I was a kid of being in this weird dream, like a dream. I think it was a recurring dream I had a few times. It was this weird dream that wasn't a dream, of like seeing the demiurge or a lion-faced serpent in this like Chinese market. There's all these people dancing around, experiencing dancing and music, and there's this serpent, like alluring kind of lion-faced serpent thing that kind of looked like one of those dragons that the Chinese have, and the people get in and do that. And because you look up Demio, some people describe him as a lion-faced serpent. So maybe that was like when I came in here, that was my entry point. I don't really know, but that's an idea. So I want to know, how did I come in here? Like, what else am I missing out about this system, how it works? Like, is it possible if I disconnect from the physical body before I go back to spirit, or is it possible being in the astral realm to turn this shit off, to fucking stop this entire world? Because I don't believe that, like, unless you do this process, you're not getting out. You will stay here for eternity. Why would it be any other way? Why would it? I don't know. So that's what it appears at this point, that this is just a DVD going around and around. It's only an hour-long movie, but if you keep on pressing play every time it finishes, it's going to be going on for eternity, right? And you look at the Tartaria, mudfloods and resets, Atlantis, Lemuria, Hyperborea, Shambhala, Agartha, all these other fucking places that apparently existed, maybe not. That it just keeps on going for eternity because this Darth Vader in the dream world, Voldemort in the simulation world, just wants to continue surviving, and it's figuring out a system of trying to make it better and better and better. That's why they're building the metaverse, to go into a simulation deeper. You know, Darth Vader's building another dream world to take you into a dream world deeper, or a simulation level deeper with Voldemort. So why wouldn't it do that, to trap you? It's like if your chicken keeps escaping, right? The electric fence, build the fence, clip the wings. The architect out of the Matrix said, "Mate, Neo, this is the 6th iteration. We're always building it better and better and better to overcome the anomaly of choice, because we don't want you to have choice, because eventually you'll choose not to be here. If you do that, we die. The Demiurge dies. The architect dies. Darth Vader, Sauron, Voldemort, they die. They're gone. So why would it ever let you leave unless you fucking choose to do it and do this work? That's the only way I see. Don't wait for a savior, external savior program, no matter what form it's in Trump or Jesus or fucking Gnosticism or spirits already fixed this world and done. You don't need, just sit back, relax, it's all going to happen for you. No. Fucking no. No, you got to do this work. Sure, that'd be nice to be wrong, because ideally what I would like to do is get to the point where I can leave and then I can fucking pull the plug and go, well, these people are stuck, they're suffering, and like they're not figuring out how to get out. Shit. It's just like if I see a dog drowning in a bucket, I go, well, fuck, that dog can't get out. It wants to get out. It's stuck. I pick the dog up and I pull it out of the bucket, right? So I do what I can to assist those who can't assist themselves, who have become trapped, and they just can't see, because the system, which that's what it does, it traps people, tricks them, enslaves them, destroys their mind, controls them, victimizes them. It's like, well, that's what happens in here. So some people might not be the same as me or as you, and they're not able to figure this out. So if I could fucking confront these entities, say, no, this is wrong, finish it, it's over, or fucking find the computer it's running on, press the button, off, switch off, pull the plug out, metaphorically, whatever needs to be done. This world, no good, should not continue. Release, return spirit back to higher realms to create its own worlds wherever it pleases, without this fucking insanity and deception and lies and evil. You know, if they want lies and evil, fucking put it on the fucking postcard, not the postcard, the warning label. Before entering this realm, lies, evil, people are like, yeah, I want to go there, or no, I don't want to go there. So that's so power again. So protection, power. I want to have all my power back, all my senses, all my memories. I want to have full power, all that stuff. Power. Power is fantastic. Without power, you're nothing. You fucking rock, right? But with power, obviously, look, this demiurge has got power, or even the illusion of power, and it controls everything. You know, you still have to go to work, you still have to use a car that has petrol, you still have to live inside a home and fucking, you know, be warm. Like, it's a form of power. So power is great. You can use that to your advantage and bend internal and external reality to your will. But let's hope it's a better will, a beneficial will. So Power and then portal. And then at that point, say for instance, you're like, okay, I know all I need to know. Oh, yes, I don't need to confront them. I don't need to turn the switch off. It's all absolutely unreal. And all I need to do is go, portal, you know, you can make it on the outside or you make it on the inside, whatever. To where you want to go. I want to go into a void. I want to fucking go here. I just want to meditate. I want pleasure world. This is the world I envision. Whatever. I just want to experience highest truth. That's the portal. This is where it's going. The portal's taking me back to where I began, or where home is, where I'm meant to be, whatever. You know, figure that out for yourself. Boom. And then you go through that portal, whether internally, externally, whatever. So that's leaving. Protection, power, portal, the triple P plan, and then the 5-step process of leaving the matrix. To reiterate, know the trap, but live sovereign, live as a sovereign. I'm gonna say that again from 1. So 1, know the trap. 2, be sovereign. 3, master yourself. 4, expand your consciousness or self-realization, total self-realization. 5, follow truth. Follow truth. Again, 1, know the trap. 2, be sovereign. 3, master self. 4, total self-realization. 5, follow truth. That's the way to put it. So I've written a little bit more just to touch it off. So I've written here, so how to do all of this. And this is the path of a truly enlightened being. You might not like that word, but you know what I'm implying by the use of it. To know right from wrong, to know truth from fiction, to expand one's awareness, to encompass all that is knowable of reality, to encompass your awareness to all that is knowable or worth knowing. You can know about fucking cricket or growing petunia flowers or something. You're like, I don't care about that. It's got nothing to do with what I want to know. So encompass all that you actually want to know about knowable reality. Obviously, the unknown is totally unknown, but yeah, the further along the path one is, the better experience they have. So the more knowledge you accumulate and more along this path of enlightenment, total self-realization you come along, the better experience you have in this matrix physical 3D world. The happier you are. You can build your pendulum neutral, happy, right? No suffering. So overcome your suffering. So yeah, if you can be happy in hell, fucking in this world, happy in hell, well, you can be happy anywhere. Wow, like that's pretty powerful. As the Buddha once said, you know, he didn't care if he died, when he died, if he got sent to hell, because he wouldn't suffer there. He'd just help everyone else who was suffering and help them leave. Yeah, that's pretty powerful. So know what you are capable of, and know that you're capable of so much more than this world, and don't settle for less. This can be applied to so many different aspects of your life. Don't settle for less. You don't need to. Whether that's a relationship, friendships, where you're living, a job, anything. Don't settle for less. Your body, your haircut, whatever is worth or worthy to you. Yeah, that's subjective. You know your worth, know your value. Oh yeah, when leaving, right? You have got to have that destination aim. So I've written here, how can you get to the place where you want to go, but you don't, which you don't know you want to be? How can you get to the place which you don't know you want to be? If you're like, I want to leave this world, where do you want to go? I don't know. Like, how are you going to get there then? To the place which you don't know you want to be. If you want to be in just a pleasurable experience, like Gnostic antinatalist speaks about, just a eternal pleasure state, well, if you didn't know that, where are you going then? But if you know that, now you've got a direction. Now you can aim somewhere. How do you experience that which you don't know you want to experience? So yeah, be totally congruent and aware of what you don't want to experience. I don't want to experience suffering. I don't want to experience submissiveness, obedience, powerlessness, fucking powerlessness. None of that. I don't want to experience powerlessness, control, limitation, suffering. Don't want any of that. Know this. Yeah, discover what it is exactly you want to aim for, then focus on going there. Well, I read this part. Oh, also, I've written here, this is just another theory I have, become no one to leave. Their technology works on someone. How can it work on no one? You can't control nothing. From their point of view, you can only control something. You can't shoot no one, only someone. So I came up with this idea after reading about testimonies of people being in like the astral, or just in a different state of existence, in a different energy body kind of thing, and how these mantis beings and other aliens would use this kind of electromagnetic field technology to trap their light bodies, their energy bodies, and then to forcefully imprison them into a physical body. And so it's like, well, fuck, how are they actually doing that? That sounds nasty if that's what's actually happening. That's fucked, right? Terrible. But what if you're no one? Maybe the technology can only, like, and what's that even mean to be no one? Well, that's a quest fucking to figure out. What's it mean to be no one? It's like, I am no one. Like, I'm not James. I'm just fucking spirit consciousness. I'm not actually anyone, right? Maybe that's the realization. I'm not anyone. I have the potential to be someone, but I'm choosing not to be. I'm just being no one. No one. I'm just being consciousness, presence. You know, something to ponder on. That's interesting. All right, so that's my 5-step process of leaving. Once again, know the trap, know the system. 2, be sovereign. 3, master yourself. 4, total self-realization. 5, follow what is true. And then the triple P plan, protection, power, portal. Yeah, so I know that's a lot of information there. I really do hope you found it valuable. If you have, if you got any feedback, any constructive comments, write them down. If it's something silly, I just don't want to reply. Or if it's boring, write something constructive. Like, write something you've learned. Or something you've learned, right? So learn and then go, actually, I don't agree with that because this and this. Like, and be careful of your attitude too. Attitude is important. It's like, I don't want to be spoken to like being disrespected, just as you don't want to be spoken to like you're being disrespected, right? This video, some people may feel disrespected from this video, but I'm not speaking directly to you. If I'm writing a direct comment to you or speaking to you face to face or on the phone, my aim is to be respectful, because that's just how I want to be treated when actually having a conversation. A broadcast video like this, you know, the broadcast, casting the net, all that etymology and trap shit. So, and spells and magic. It's yeah, treat people with respect. Treat others as you wish to be treated. If you want to know more about that kind of stuff, check out my memorandum and my law of morality videos. I speak about a lot of different stuff. All right. Subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. And leave the Matrix. Hopefully I never see you again. Or maybe we do. Time, experience, shall tell.